Hi, this is Benjamin Robinson from Positive Living with Autism. Just doing a blog post, video post this morning about the idea of how we, with autism, deal with a lot of emotions at one time. I am dealing with a lot of emotion at one time, and they're all kind of coming together in this sort of crazy moment of like, I take a lot of deep breaths and I get through it. But some days lately, the stress in my body has been completely insanely crazy. And I think it's also studying a whole new week of school with the same school I'm at, and then also working through a second job I have working with younger kids, and being able to work through the deeper stuff of emotions is sometimes a challenge. And I can't, I try to express it to people, and it doesn't always come out the right way. I mean, I think to the campers I work with, I was able to find a new way to sort of look at it like, okay, this is the big deal, this is the small stuff, and this is the big stuff. But for me to, channel it in a way that works is not always easy. The biggest issue I deal with is feeling valued in the place I work. And it's about being valued by other people, but it's also valuing my own opinion, my own views. For so many years, I didn't express those views because I thought they were important, but I thought people wanted to hear certain things. They didn't want to hear about what it's like to have autism plain. They wanted to hear the statistics, the facts. And as I grow more into my story and deeperness of it, I've discovered that people want to hear the truth. The truth may not always be pretty, but they want to hear the truth. And there's value in the stories of people with autism. There's value in that. And I think we get so stuck behind, oh, Johnny has to meet this standard for the IEP before he graduates. He has to learn job skills and community skills, that we forget that they have feelings, they have emotions, they deal with stuff, and they have social emotion, they have learning processes that don't get caught up in their own word, and we don't give them time to process any of that information. If you got to do this, you got to get this behavior taken care of. The school I work on is very much behavior, and it's like, I struggle with this because I have to deal with kids, like grab them and deal with them in a way that they listen to what I want them to do. And I struggle with this because I'm not the way I am. I have to do it though, but it's not who I am. I'm learning a new way, to just deal with these kids. And it just feels like we're just adding more trauma to the problem that's already existing. I heard a lot of lecture series about people who talk about their trauma and how we add more trauma. And I have to be really careful because sometimes I take on their trauma when I don't need to. I need to focus on my own. But it's not always, bread and butter. It's not always easy to look at this stuff. And I think working with the kids I did in the summertime and working with the kids I worked at school, and even working with the kids who are non-disabled, the ones I work at the afternoon program, is that as adults, we need to take the time to allow children to be children and allow them to express these feelings and their need to be met. And sometimes we fail that because we think academics is so important, don't get me wrong. But if Johnny's not ready to learn and he doesn't have the skills to do anything, because he's dealing with abuse at home or whatever, you're not helping Johnny. You're not. You're making the problem get worse. And the school district I work for, and a lot of other school districts, have this problem where mental health is not that important. It's the academics. And it's not the school board necessarily job. I think mental health needs to be part of the system, but there's got to be a better way. And what my job as an SEA, special education assistant, I deal with these kids day to day, one to one, a lot, and it's a lot to handle because we don't have the services. The services they need, we can't give them, but somehow we have to give them in the course of our day because they trust us. They're with us 24/7. I haven't really found that balance yet, but I'm working on it. But one thing I will share is when you can't talk, the kids I work with don't talk, and you have a 10-minute window in which to figure out what that kid needs, it's really emotional because I can communicate that. I can say, I have this problem. With some of the kids I work with, cannot say that. They're stuck in this crazy notion that what they say doesn't matter. And I'm still racking my brain on all of this, but I wanted to share it with you guys, is that communication needs to be a very vital, important part of the facts. But we need to start treating these people as human beings and not just something we can just graduate to the next level because we feel like it. Or these kids meet the standards, so, I think we forget that. And I think it's sad if we need to remember, not everybody forgets it, but a lot of people forget it. We need to start looking at them as kids, as students, human beings who want a life. They want to create a new life. And if because our own lives were a little bit chaotic, we create something that's just like, oh, this is the rule, this is the structure, this is how it's going to work. That's not being flexible. The problem with education now is that we are so rigid in standards and googly stuff like that, is that we forgot that we need to start creating a place of safety, a place where students feel safe walking into the building. The school I work at, for example, 100% of the students didn't feel safe in that building. And that means something. That means we have to create a better, safer place for them. And I'll talk more about this later on. But thanks for letting me listen. And I just want to, I want to conclude is safety and making the child feel valued down the road would change depression. It would change all of this stuff for the better. It really will. I know you don't always believe it because sometimes we need facts and data. And the problem with social emotional learning and all that stuff is there's not always data to back it up. Thanks. Talk to you all later.